This is the Fiat 600 electric. It's a Stellantis clone, which I think is both a curse and a blessing. A blessing because it means you've got access to pretty good components. This only comes in the next generation battery. That is efficient. We're talking Tesla levels efficiency based on the previous cars we've driven. You've got good value because so many cars are sharing the same components, and that's good. That's what we want. We want cheaper electric vehicles. But it's also a bit of a curse because it's quite difficult to well, differentiate you from the rest of the group, not just other manufacturers. And at the price this is realistically selling at, it's probably the most competitive part of the market. So what's the unique selling point of this? Why would you go for this over other Stellantis clones and, well, just other cars in general? What sets it apart? Before we talk about what I've just mentioned, let's have a little shufty around this car. Clearly, they've seen the Fiat 500, which is a very good electric vehicle. We really do like it, and just put it in the Stellantis photocopier. So they're trying to build on the success of that. That's fine. Every manufacturer would do the same. And it looks like a larger Fiat 500. You've got this sort of eyeliner headlights, these splits, which you'll either love or you hate. It's like it's had a few injections, shall we say, a few fillers, right here, here, and here. So there's definitely going for that sort of aesthetic appeal that the Fiat 500 has, that Italian flair. The 600 badge instead of Fiat, again, gives it a little bit of that, what do the Italians say, Harry? Je ne sais quoi. There you go. The side of this might be familiar because it's essentially a Jeep Avenger. Not just a Stellantis clone, it's out of the same factory. And that's not a bad thing, we did like that car. It's a compact SUV, I think the phrase would be. It's got decent ground clearance, you know, it's not too tall, but it's not too short either. So hopefully interior height at least should be quite good. The rear entry, in terms of the door opens quite wide, so you will be able to get things like a car seat in easier than other cars in the group, but there is something I need Harry's help with to show you a bit of an oddity in terms of the interior space. Okay, so this is what we're on about. Those doors are as wide as they can go. Harry, can you put that in a position so you don't end up clattering? So you're comfortable, effectively, in the front seat for an average adult, shall we say. So that seat's in the normal position. And yet, if you look at where the pillar is, the seat is quite a distance behind where the pillar is. You're basically sat in the back of the car. And again, we'll sit in the back in a second, but look at the space. The space is just gone. Charging 100 kilowatts, so same as all the rest of them. CCS, of course, which is acceptable, but for me, another 50 would be nice. The rear, again, it's quite tall. It's definitely SUV-like, and if you're familiar with the 500, again, lots of similarities. You've got the Lamborghini Italian flag down the bottom there, and the boot opens itself. Fantastic. It's actually decent size. Reasonable space there, and you've got a bit of storage underneath here. So ultimately, I would call it a compact family boot size. You would get a compact pram in it. You'd be able to do your shopping in it, stuff like that. So that kind of fits. Although I have to say, after living with this for the last week, this does annoy people when you're setting off at like 6 in the morning. Why? Okay, so this is the Fiat 600 interior, and I'll start off with the very nice feeling, actually, steering wheel. And you've got some nice chunky buttons, nothing black gloss, apart from that little bit there, but I can forgive it. Now, I'll start with the door. There's a lot of hard-wearing plastics here, which is kind of Fiat-esque in terms of the 500. You've got this kind of leatherette effect, standard switchgear in the group, and a little bit of a storage bin, which is okay. Let me turn the car on, which you do by pressing the brake and holding that down. Usual dash binnacle, again from the group, easy to read, quite straightforward, and yeah, that's fine. I quite like the implementation of this sort of like pod, and this screen, which does Apple and Android Auto wirelessly. This is okay at best, but the way it's integrated into the dash, I do think is quite effective, especially with this kind of white material effect. You know, it's quite smooth, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's quite
nice.
nice. But the bit below it, if you go below the equator, it's a little bit, again, hard wearing. And when we go down, look, actual buttons for all the climate control stuff. These buttons are easy to miss. And look, Harry.
Oh, wow.
I've created a shortcut for you. Lane keep assist.
Fantastic.
Off.
Turn that off every time.
If I move down here, we have, instead of the usual Stellantis kind of gear selector, you've got the buttons. And I'll be honest, I prefer this. It's easy to use and it just makes sense more. So yeah, I like that. And just up here, we've got a bit of, well, storage for glasses, I guess, and small things. It's not for your phone because that is in here under this iPad sort of case where it does the wireless charging and there's more storage bin there as well. I'm just not a fan of that.
It's a bit cheap, isn't it?
It is, and maybe it's just the colour, but it's already looking grubby. Moving back again, we've got the usual electronic handbrake, the drive modes, which actually change the BHP level between sport, normal, and eco, and again, decent store bin for whatever you want. In this case, bottles.
You can change them around.
You can change them around as well, and you've got the storage as well that goes all the way down. So there's lots of storage, including, of course,
a glove box.
A glove box. Oh, they've spoiled it.
That's tiny, isn't
half a glove box.
Yeah.
We've done this outside already, so that's in a comfortable position for you, is this seat.
Yeah, yep.
So now you get in the back and we'll see if this is a compact family car.
I think compact, yes.
Before we get onto the space, I have to say, because of the lighter interior, it looks quite bright.
It does, yeah.
But let's go back to the space. How tall are you?
I'm 5'10" on a good day, and I have got little legs.
Right, so essentially, is this for kids only? This is not. It's the size of the Corsa. We've had the Corsa recently, and that's was that bigger or about the same? About the same.
It felt slightly bigger, I think, did the Corsa.
Which is a bit weird. This is what I don't understand. I know it's the same sort of chassis.
I just can't get my head around the seat being
how far the seat is.
I mean, to say it's 3 seats in the back, shall I try and... I can't even get behind that one. No.
There's the usual hump.
Yeah,
I
can't get into that.
For the transmission tunnel from the hybrid. So again, EV ground up is definitely a benefit. And this seat is as far back as I can go for filming. You couldn't get behind this seat.
No, I tell you, it's pretty strange as well. The armrest don't come down. You would think, wouldn't you? Sometimes they have that cup holder in the back.
All right then. So here we go. Where do you put that then? Put it door bin.
You can't, because it seems to be...
There's no door bin?
Nope, there's a bit of an oversight there. Also, only one USB in the back as well.
Right, so one USB, no cup holders.
It's not a family car then, is it?
That is
somebody without kids has designed the back of this car.
Okay, so the seats, which have been winding. I've done 200 miles recently in this, in one journey, well, 2 separate journeys, and it's like they've got Velcro on the bottom.
Almost rubberised.
Yeah.
It's sticky.
You've no movement. If you can't twist. If I want to change position, my pants stay in the same place.
Yeah.
I get a wedgie every time I move. And if you look at these white seats, how dirty this seat is. This car's done 4,300 miles.
And it must have been cleaned. It's
well, yes, you would have. I mean, I know it's a press car, but ultimately...
They're grubby, aren't they?
Yeah, these seats, I feel like... Do you know like when you're really sweaty and you're stuck to your leather?
Yeah.
But it's like every time you get out, I get a wedgie.
Yeah, that aside.
Yes, that aside.
So you can see it's quite a lot.
Oh, I'm basically cupping myself all the time in this Italian car.
Yeah.
It is a bit taller than the others because it's a compact SUV, and they've concentrated a little bit more on the comfort. So I have to say, it is, over the traditional British roads,
it's comfy.
It's comfy.
Yeah.
That comes at a slight compromise, which is perfectly acceptable on this, in that...
It's floaty.
Whoa!
It's a bit American.
Yeah, waterbeddy.
Yeah.
But again,
I
fix it.
That completely.
It's not. That's not a criticism. It's just
That's how it is.
You can't have fun on a country road. But again, I don't think many people are buying this.
It's not. It's a city car.
Yeah, exactly. Vauxhalls can be accused, I don't think, of design on the inside, especially.
No.
Whereas this
has a bit of flair.
Yeah, and it's that flair that some people like, and it's what the Fiat 500 has done really well on. And that's a fantastic little EV, isn't it? And the Abarth as well.
The Abarth, was so much fun.
So yeah,
they can put a car together, can't they? They give it just something else.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
Now
a good example is
it's not a common junction, but the little bit of pillar, but where your seat is forced to be.
Yeah.
That's blocking out that. I can't see.
I'll have to do it for you.
Yeah. Am I okay?
You're all right. Yeah.
Yeah, something we're going to bring in. This is essentially the worst road in the history of mankind. It's a cobbled road that's not been maintained for decades. So you haven't just got cobbles, you've got big ruts and that. So let's do, what speed? Should we say 50?
Let's do
Actually 10. I
10.
don't think we're going to go.
yeah. Let's make it.
10 mile an hour. You know what? It's worse in the Tesla, our Model 3.
Yeah.
Although it's no Citroen EC4
The
that
Citroen just glided,
over
didn't
it. It's good.
Yeah,
It's
not
comfortable. The road is terrible.
It is terrible. Yeah.
Oof. Dear me. So you know what? Again, it hits the spot that it's aiming for, doesn't it?
That van was doing fly tipping.
Oh, is that what it was doing?
Yeah, look at that.
Brilliant.
That's what happens when you close over tips.
So the prices of the 600. The list prices are, because I keep forgetting them.
33 for the entry,
Okay.
and for this one, 37.
So 33 and 37,
Yep.
and they all come with the next gen battery.
Yep, they do.
And
Yep.
the higher power motor that the other Stellantis stuff does. So there's no two options or anything. It's just that.
Which makes life a lot simpler, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
So very efficient motor, I have to
Yeah.
say. Very efficient battery in terms of the range from the other group, and this is virtually the same. It's a little bit less than something like the Astra, but I guess given the size, that's fine. So I've had a quick look online, and I managed to find this top spec for £31,500
That's not bad, is it?
instead of 37.
Yeah.
So we'll base it on that, and the entry level for just under £38,000.
28.
£28,000. So many nuts. Right, so 28 grand.
It's such a competitive price point, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
it's
really
a tough one to enter, isn't it, for Fiat?
And
But
again, the USP is just that it's different.
Yeah,
It looks different.
and
And
that
that'll
is
be
enough
enough.
for some people. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the majority of people who buy this are not car people like
No,
we are.
no.
You know, as in they're not, snobs.
No.
Quite frankly, when it comes to cars.
I think they've had maybe a Fiat 500 and want that same sort of look, but just a bit bigger.
Yeah. So it hasn't quite got the flair that the 500 has because Fiat designed that rather than using the parts bin.
I think as well the thing about the 500 is it is small and cute, and when you get above a certain size, it stops being that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not the kid anymore that you go, oh.
In fact, look at that there. The Vauxhall Mokka E
Yeah.
is just driving past us. Bear in mind that that's got high list price.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 28 grand for the entry level of this. I expect that to go down over time because it's felling you out. But for now, 28 grand entry level. Entry level Mokka, how much do you think?
Though I'm going to guess the same sort of price. It's the same sort of vehicle.
21 and a half. Brand new, not re-registered.
I don't know what to say about that. It's unbelievable.
No,
I can't think of a reason.
same battery size as well, should point
I
out.
can't think of a reason why you would go for this over that.
Not for such a, £6.5 grand
No.
difference. That's massive.
Unless you just didn't like the Vauxhall badge and the Fiat badge did it for you. But
Yeah. Okay, so that for me is a bit of an outlier,
Yeah.
bit of an edge case.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Vauxhall are really pushing stuff at the moment.
So we've got £29,000, the Jeep Avenger.
So which would you go for? Would you save that extra £1,000 and go for
I'd be
this? or-
going for the Jeep. It's just
I would go for the Jeep Avenger,
And
but
that
I
yellow
think
colour as well.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, as I said, both our partners would pick this.
yeah.
So that is for me, whatever you prefer choice.
Yeah.
It's a close enough price, isn't it? £1,000 a lot,
Yeah.
but it's close enough. So okay, that's up to you.
The Peugeot E2008, and that's the 54 kilowatt version.
So it's the same thing.
27. I'd probably go for the Peugeot.
Peugeot do have a good look at the
Yeah.
moment, don't they?
Renault Megane E-Tech, 27.5.
So it's £500 less. It's got a
And
bigger
it's
battery,
a lot better car.
more
really.
power,
For us, what we're
probably more
looking for.
practical inside. Boot,
Yeah.
about the same.
Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely go for the Megane.
I
The
mean,
Megane
that-
E-Tech's
that-
very good.
That drove really nicely.
very
didn't it?
good.
Really nicely. Cooper Born V2, near enough £32,000.
Much bigger interior.
Yeah, I mean the interior fit and finish was a lot nicer than this as well. It felt premium, didn't it? The seats were nice.
The top spec, this versus that, again, is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think definitely.
But the entry level is several, £4 or £5 grand less, so
Yeah.
then it's not comparable.
Kia EV3, £33,000.
And that's the list price.
Yeah. So give it a while, there may be some.
So 33 grand list, it's going to be the same price as this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the EV3, again, we haven't had it. It's not even out properly yet. But if it's anything like any other Kia, it's going to be really
nice,
good.
isn't it? Yeah.
7-year warranty versus 3.
3.
Although 8 years on the battery for this.
I think the final one we've got here is the MG ZS Trophy with the 72.6 kilowatt battery.
I mean,
So that's massive, isn't it? That.
wow. So this has got just over 50. That's got 70, call it.
Wow. That's 25.
Brand new. 25 grand brand new for a 70.
That is ridiculous.
Trophy as well, so that's the top spec.
I think the only thing that'll put that people who want to get this is the fact that's got an MG badge on it, a bit of badge snobbery.
If you just want an EV and you're not too concerned about what it is, a commuter car, it's not for you. Yeah, there's better cars out there, there's more efficient cars out there. What is the unique selling point of this car?
It's looks.
Yeah, which is a big thing for some people. And you know, how many people buy a car because of the way it looks? Yeah. That's a strong motivation to buy something. But it does have one, doesn't it? Yeah. Nothing looks like this. You're not going to mistake it for any other car, right?
No, you're not, no.
You know what? I know we keep on knocking it for us, but it's a reasonably nice place to be.
It's easy to drive.
It's so easy to drive. The price point is about right.
Yeah.
And I expect that
it's not overpriced, is it?
No, it's not overpriced, but I expect it to come down the longer it's been out when the deals start kicking in a bit more. And again, it will appeal to the same people that bought the Fiat 500. Yeah. Although that was a very good small car. Yeah. It wasn't just good looking and cheeky. It was a very good small car.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And cheap to buy. This has lost a little bit of that. Yeah. I've done again a 200-mile round trip. And it was, I think, 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. And I was going as quickly as I could to get there. Lots of roadworks, but essentially it is quite efficient. So in terms of that range, I would say it's about 10 miles less than the others. So let's say 200 miles as a year-round average.
Yeah.
About 175.80 in winter, 220.30 in summer. All around town that would go up, of course. So that's an average. So it's not 27 grand for this. 200-mile car.
Not a bad package, is it really?
It's just there's a lot of others doing the same now.
Or for a lot less on special deals.
Yes. If the Rio is just
usable.
Yeah, usable for people other than small children, it would be significantly up the charts, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If I mean, even if it was just like another 6 to 8 inch worth of space in the back, in my mind, it would have achieved all its objectives.
Tell you what, I'm going to give you an even harder task now.
Oh God.
What food is this? What's the food analogy?
Oh God, what food is this?
I think I've got it.
Yeah.
It's a mocktail.
It's a mocktail. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You want a cocktail and you want to get drunk, and then someone tells you, "Oh no, actually, it's a mocktail."
Yeah. So you look the part.
Yep.
It's reasonably priced.
And it's still, it's flavourful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a mocktail.
It's just missing something.
It's a designated driver.
It's a designated driver. I think you bought this in your head before you've driven it.
Yeah, you'll see the pictures and go,
and
I like
you'll want that.
And yeah,
you don't even have to drive it.
No. There is one thing actually that I think is quite superficial and aesthetically pleasing.
It's you.
The membership of it as well.
The membership, yeah.
So if you want to pay for this, I mean, as I said in the last video,
a bargain.
I can't believe that we're pumping this sort of video out and not charging for it.
I know. We should start.
I mean, members get it early and members only video, but everybody can watch this for free.
Yeah.
Can you believe this is free?
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it?
I mean,
probably the hardest car review we've ever done.
Yeah, because we can't knock it, but we don't.
I think it's because we don't see the appeal of it.
Yeah, it's not a car review.
But I know it's there.
So anyway, there we go. We're finished. Thank you for subscribing.
And thank you for watching this far, because quite honestly, I'd have turned off already.
This is going to be a tough edit, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, thank you. But we'll see you later. I'm going to go look at some aesthetically pleasing things now on the internet.
I've got some long time.
Cars. We've got.
See ya.